amount of award that is from $500 to $75,000. And this is not an actual group-based competition, but it is more independent. It is where a student is actually enrolled in a local science fair, and they are ready to do upper-level advancing competitions here.
On today's Lion Research.
Hi, I'm Amelia from Lion, and today we're going to be talking about different science competitions for high schoolers.
Why should high school students enter science research competitions?
So high school students should definitely enter a science research competition, not only for experience of previous research, but also it looks good on your college resume when you're applying for college, and also makes you a stronger applicant.
So there are a lot of science research competitions out there. So which ones have you prepared for us today?
One of the first competitions we're going to be talking about is the Regenon International and Engineering Science Fair. This competition, it is from grade 9 to 12, and it is both local and international. This is shortly known as ISEF, and ISEF is known as a huge science competition where there are students representing 50 states and more than 70 countries. This is where students show independent showcases and independent work where they get an amount of award that is from $500 to $75,000. And this is not an actual group-based competition, but it is more independent. It is where a student is actually enrolled in a local science fair, and they are ready to do upper-level advancing competitions here. So a lot of students actually win the award, and there were 2 students from Exeter Phillips Academy where they won awards here. So the next one is National Science Bowl. It is hosted by Department of Energy in Washington, D.C. And it is for students who are very passionate about mathematics, biology and chemistry, physics, energy, and other STEM areas. There's teams of 4 and 1 advisor for each team. This is one of the biggest science bowl where there are 344,000 students actually participating. And this competition has been going on for 34 years. The next one is National Science Olympiad. This is where teams actually compete annually with an opportunity to win scholarships and other prizes, such as a one-time $10,000 worth of science scholarship. And there are about 6,000 teams that are participating in this Olympiad per year. Although this is not international, it is state and national, and it is from grade 9 to 12.
I think I know what's coming next. Is it the Regeneron Science Talent Search?
Yes, that is actually correct. And this is one of the biggest science competitions that there are, and is very popular amongst a lot of STEM students. This is only for grade 12 students, and it is regional, and it is one of the most prestigious high school competitions there are. And there are roughly 1,800 students that are applying, and 300 of them actually gets chosen for a $2,000 award. Then there are 40 finalists that are chosen from those 300 students, and they are actually awarded all expenses paid trip to Washington, D.C. Then they actually get to compete for $1.8 million in awards, and with the top prize of $250,000.
Can you also talk about the Stockholm Junior Water Prize?
The Stockholm Junior Water Prize is a competition from grade 9 to 12. It is also an international, all-state, and regional competition. And so there's 4 divided sections in this competition. It's divided into regional, state, international, and national. For the regional winners, they actually receive a certificate and a nomination to compete in the actual state competition. And the state winners actually receive a medal and all expense paid trip to complete in the national competition. And for the national competition winners, they receive a trophy and a $10,000 scholarship and a all expenses paid trip to Stockholm, Sweden, where they can further compete on the international competition. So this is pretty huge. And for the international winners, they receive a crystal trophy and a $15,000 scholarship, along with a $5,000 award for their school. And this is a really good opportunity for international students to go to international schools or anywhere that is outside the United States. Another one is TOPS competition for high school psychology students, and this is mainly a psychology science competition. It is on the side of STEM since it is psychology, and it is from grade 9 to 12, and it is a national competition. This is a bit different than the other competitions where you need to submit 3-minute video that demonstrates interest and understanding in psychology, and this also shows the students' passion for psychology if they're ever interested. And this is more of a way to locally benefit the public and the community. So you gotta kind of present ways where you can think and be creative to make the world a better place. Also, there is a $300 scholarship for 3 different kids who get picked for the award. The next one is Junior Science Symposium National Competition, short as JSHS, and this is for students in grade 9 to 12, and it is a regional and national competition. This is known as one of the longest running STEM competitions, and participants are required to submit a science research paper and compete for military-sponsored scholarships. And the research is is actually divided into multiple categories such as environmental science, engineering, technology, and medicine and health. So it is mostly all parts of the STEM. About 250 students are chose to even compete in this competition, so it is a bit more competitive. The next one is MIT Think Scholars Program. This is from grade 9 to 12, and it is a national competition. This is for people who kind of want to do a research project and pitch their ideas to MIT. And when students present, they can actually receive up to $1,000 in funding for their actual research project that they pitched, which is really good because it actually helps you to further reach your dreams. And they're invited 4 days to MIT with an all-paid trip. So that is really good for students who are interested in going to MIT for their future undergrad college experience.
You're doing great so far. Could we maybe talk about the Conrad Challenge as well?
Yeah, so the Conrad Challenge is from grade 9 to 12, and it is a national competition where students are tasked with designing detailed projects and tackling various problems such as aerospace, aviation, health and nutrition, cyber technology and security, energy and environment. In doing so, they'll be able to identify problems that are currently going on in the world and have innovative solutions to these problems. While working, they are guided by mentors throughout the whole competition, and finalists will be chosen from the competing teams, and they will be invited into the Innovation Summit in Houston, where they will be pitching their ideas to the main judges and potentially receive numerous prizes and awards such as money for funding their pitches and things like that. So it is really huge if you have a really great idea to help out the environment or if you have any interest in these other topics.
When we're talking about science research competitions, I feel like we can't leave out Bio-Olympiad competition. Could you maybe elaborate on that?
Yeah, so the USA Bio-Olympiad competition is actually a national competition where students from grade 9 to 12 are involved. It is also an international competition, and students will undergo multiple rounds of testing, and there are a total of 20 finalists that will be chosen from the competition. And so these students are really special because they are chosen out of 10,000 students annually, and it is for students who are really interested in biology and who are really passionate about spreading their knowledge of biology. So this is really big if you ever want to compete in a biology competition that is focused on the bio concept itself. Next is Davidson Fellows Scholarship. This is from grade 9 to 12, and it is a national competition. And this is kind of more leaning towards the STEM side as it focuses on mathematics, technology, and science. And the student is required to actually submit a work that they have made that makes a positive contribution to society. So it is mostly a competition that kind of benefits the society as well. And the scholarship actually ranges from $10,000 to $50,000. It is really huge. So if you do ever get a chance to apply for this competition, I say go for it.
What is Destination Imagination?
Destination Imagination is actually a international national state competition, and it ranges from grade 9 to 12. This is where students will form teams to work together in different challenges, and they are competing with the topics of technical, scientific, and engineering. And students are solving these challenges in the competition, and regional winners move on to the statewide competitions to further be invited into the global finals. And this is where students from 36 states, 7 Canadian provinces, and 24 countries to compete for awards. So this is a really big international competition. If you are an international student, it is really a good opportunity for you to participate in these competitions. So the next one is Breakthrough Junior Challenge, and this is from grade 9 to 12 again. It is also an international and national competition. And this is more on the creative side where students get to make a 2-minute video where they explain a certain complex scientific concept that they're passionate about and demonstrate on how it works in practice. The good thing about this competition is that it includes a $250,000 worth of scholarships, which is huge, and $100,000 grant award to the winner's school. Not only the winner itself, but also the school, which is really good. The money that is being donated into school is for creating a science lab or developing a science lab in this school, and also a $50,000 award to the teacher of the winner's choosing. The next one is Biotechnology Institute BioGenius Challenge, and this is from grade 9 to 12. It is a state and national competition where students across the country are invited to participate in the challenge where they're able to complete a project in the topics of healthcare, environment, or sustainability. Their project must be extensive and produce concrete results so that they will be able to compete in the local or virtual at-large competitions. And this is with other students around the world, so it is very global in a way. The next one is Genes in Space, and this is for students in 7th to 12th grade. So a lot of students who aren't high school students can participate in this competition. So it is a national competition, and this is where students talk about their passion in the human genome, and this is where a student actually designs a DNA experiment that actually addresses a challenge in space and exploration and travel. So it's kind of a really big competition, I believe, since you actually get to work with DNA itself. And the finalists actually receive a mentorship from Harvard and MIT, which is huge as it is one of the top schools for technology and like engineering. And they get to actually present their proposals and they have a chance to win a grand prize. The winner is actually able to travel to Kennedy Space Center. So that is actually really big. They get to actually see their experiment be launched into space and actually conducted on the International Space Station.
What's the Odyssey of the Mind competition about? It sounds so mythical.
So the Odyssey of the Mind competition is actually a global problem-solving competition and is from grade 9 to 12. It is an international, national, and state competition. It's where students actually get to design certain vehicles to build small structures that can support hundreds of pounds. So this is kind of a competition that encourages creativity, and it is one of the huge STEM-based challenges that are in the world.
I feel like this is a good place to transition to chemistry. Could you maybe introduce us a chemistry competition?
Yeah, one of the competitions is U.S. National Chemistry Olympiad. This is for grade 9 to 12, and it is a regional, national, and international competition. And it is where students actually prove their skill through doing rigorous exams. And the top test takers are actually able to participate in a certain camp where they actually prepare to compete in an international competition where they represent the U.S. Students who are interested can actually contact their local coordinator, who can be found through the program's website. So if you go into the program's website, you'll be able to find your coordinator there. The next one is our just online competition, and this is also for students who are from grade 9 to 12, and it is a national, regional, and state competition. This competition takes high schoolers who want to conduct a research project from their hometown, and they will eventually present their data through the ARGIS story map. And this is a multi-level competition where high school students actually compete in school, and this kind of helps them pursue top honors. The next one is APPT High School Physics Photo Contest, and this is more on the creative side where it is a mixture of photography and physics. So students who are passionate about that can participate, and it is also an international competition. It is where students actually take photos and show visual illustrations of natural and convective phenomena, and they need to write a written analysis of what they are demonstrating and what they're showing in the photos. More than 1,000 students actually participate in this challenge and take part in this competition annually. So the next one is DNA Day Essay Contest, and this is for kids who are in grade 9 to 12. It is an international competition, and it is where high school students kind of talk about their passion towards genetics. And it is more of an essay competition where the essay is limited to 750 words, where the prompt actually changes yearly. So every year you can actually participate with a different prompt. And the first place actually wins $1,000. The second place wins $600, and the third place wins $400. It is a good price. I feel like this would be a fun project to do if you are interested in genetics and biology. The next one is the Biomimicry Institute, the Youth Design Challenge. This is an international competition where students from grade 9 to 12 can compete, and it is involved in the topics of biomimicry, and it is an interdisciplinary approach to science and environmental literacy. And students are able to work in teams, and there's one adult coach for each team where they search for bio-inspired ideas in the real-world phenomenon. Mainly, this competition is to improve the environment and solve real-world problems for a healthier planet. So the next one is called TEAMS, which is an acronym for Testing of Engineering Aptitude, Mathematics, and Science, and this is for grade 9 to 12, and it is a state and national competition. During this competition, students are allowed to apply their knowledge towards science and math and towards real-world engineering problems. And the three-part themed competition actually includes design, builds, multiple choice, and essay components, and the theme actually changes annually. So this is a really good competition as the participants actually get involved in leadership and teamwork. So these are all the competitions I've talked about today, and
actually, I just have one quick question. So these science research competitions, right? How are they going to affect a student's admission chances?
I believe that it actually improves a student's admission chances, and it helps the students to prove that they are actually really passionate about the certain major that they're applying towards. So if you are applying to biology as a STEM major, then doing a biology competition can actually increase your chances of getting accepted into college as a bio student, as it shows that you're passionate about biology and it shows your interest towards it. And it also kind of proves that you are smart enough to do these competitions. Since I've talked about all these activities, if you are interested in any of them, you should definitely go on the website or watch this video and find the competition and definitely apply for it for better chances of your admission for college.